Greetings. I am Quantum Majesty. I'm a volunteer in the heavenly forces of the liberation of Earth. I am delivering messages from a royal fleet of the Royal Houses of Lyra. We are here with humanity, and we are witnessing the Great Awakening. The promised day has come. What does it mean, the Great Awakening? What does it mean, Ascension? The subject is talked so often nowadays, right? And the word Ascension is kind of tricky because, you know, your us isn't being sent anywhere, right? You're still experiencing life on Earth, and you're going to go even deeper and be more in the divine presence of the magic that's unfolding. Practically speaking, Ascension, it means return to your own inner authority. So let's say there are three different levels of how you relate to authority. One level is if you understand, if you stand under an authority. That is third dimension. You were raised on Earth in a prison of that frequency. When you stand under an authority, you made someone else, you allowed someone else to be a false god and tell you how to live your life. What you can, what you cannot, what's possible, what's not possible. Someone made the rules in the game of life on your behalf, and you have given consent to this, whether you knew it or not. That was happening all around, and it dictated the rhythm of your life. You notice probably that if a policeman stops you on the highway when you drive too fast and wants to give you a ticket, he will ask you, do you understand? Yes? That is on purpose, it's deliberate. Do you stand under that authority? Authority of a uniform. And that uniform can be blue, it can be white, we know that, doctors wear white uniforms. It can be green, it can be a school teacher, it can be a television personality in the representing government, the frequency that governs mental frame of mind here, right? So that's third dimension. What holds humanity, what held humanity in that frequency was fear. And now on Earth, you are going to witness that humans are awakening out of fear, out of beyond that frequency, piercing through. And the first emotion that comes out is anger. So it's actually a good sign. When something inside you and something in the society on a macro level awakens, and you basically say, enough is enough. I'm not gonna live on my knees anymore. I would rather give my life rather than live that way. So you become alive. Yeshua said, if you give your life away, you're actually gonna gain it. Because you start living your life on your own terms. Yes, it's a big breakthrough. So that's the beginning where you can see a revolution. This is actually happening right now on Earth. Masses of people are awakening out, breaking out of the frequency prison and questioning that authority, questioning the lies from religions, state religions. Did you get this? There is a reason why that phrase even exists, right? It's a form of government. Questioning the authorities of any clergy, whether it's science says so, sponsored research, whether it's someone out there knows better. questioning also deeply inside the authority of public opinion, that false god of what will other people think, what will other people say. You see that? When you actually break through and you don't give any fucks about this, you start living life. Yes? So that was third dimension. It was capped. That frequency that held you captive on earth was capped by fear. And below, guilt, blame, shame. That's the lowest vibration was always shame. Shame on you, human, you don't pay tax. You dare to. Shame on you that you don't get good grades at school. Sounds familiar? Shame on you that you don't go to church. Yeah, that you wear clothes the way you prefer, and so on. See, humans were raised in that frequency of shame and blame and guilt. Yes, guilt as if you were born with an original sin, like something's wrong with you, and so on. So now humanity is breaking out, questioning all that garbage, yes, all that mindfuck of belief systems that are completely redundant. Okay? Are they good or bad? They're just not useful anymore. We are experiencing a revolution that is spiritual, and it also reflects in a political setting, in economic, in every area of life. Now humans are lifting stones unturned, right? They're leaving no stones unturned, examining what did I really buy into? What was I really taught when I was a child, when I went to college? What did I really buy from television, right? And we encourage you, we galactic races who are both in the invisible dimensions as well as here. Many of us have actually incarnated to be right now on Earth. And we communicate using human avatars. We are among you. You are our family. That's why we jumped into this frequency prison to pick you up, right? So you're breaking out, and the first emotion that arises, and legitimately so, rightly so, is that holy anger. That it's like, no, I'm not gonna live life like that. Celebrate that, yes? And once you enter, that is your way out of the third dimension frequency. Once you wake up and do not settle for less, what happens is that you do not understand, you're not willing to stand under anymore. You start to understand. You start to see through how the matrix functions, how the predictive programming from television, from movies, from songs, games, all that, everything pouring from screens, yes, from Black Mirror. When you look at the iPhone, iPad, TV, yes, it's that magical, as if it was a magical Black Mirror. You get this? Asking you not, inviting you to doubt your self-worth, right? So your own magical realm was infiltrated from screens. And when you start to understand how it functions, you see this bullshit through, right? And it's a beautiful moment. You start to remember who you truly are. And you realize, this is my life. It belongs to me. I am responsible for one life only, my own. Unless I have a child. If I have a child, until the kid grows up, yes, I am responsible for that child as well. But otherwise, my life, my rules. This is my game, and I am making the rules here in this game. You see, a mindset of freedom wakes up, a mindset of possibility. So you are in that zone, in that frequency of understanding, discernment. It's almost like it wakes up like a sixth sense. You start to feel, you start to smell like something smells like a lie. Something doesn't feel right. And we encourage you, trust it. Trust what you feel. Your eyes aren't showing you evidence. Your eyes may not even show you the evidence, but what you feel is so, so important right now. And inner standing puts you in confrontation, in direct confrontation with all those false gods, all those self-proclaimed gurus and authorities that told you up to now how to live your life, right? You arise and you stand as equal. Who are you to tell me how to live my life? What authority do you have? That's a huge breakthrough. And that is, in a way, that is a fourth dimension. When you see good and evil, and you finally have what? Choice. Choice. You finally have free will. And it is your birthright to exercise this. Everyone on Earth is a free will world. That's the beauty of it. Yes, that all pathways, all paths of life are actually allowed here. You know, someone says love spells L-O-V, and that means let other visions exist. You are responsible for gardening your own garden, making sure that you live life on your terms. There is another dimension, and that is fifth dimension, where the frequency is even higher. Today, masses and masses of humanity are breaking out of 3D, out of that fear mindset, and questioning everything, and they are entering fourth dimension, the realm of free will, the realm where, you know, nobody has a right anymore to interfere with what we humans create, what we choose on Earth. That is a very powerful breakthrough. Higher frequency, guess what? Is when you overstand. When you remember who you truly are. That you are a soul. You see, in 3D, you occur as a body. And that body needs to survive, right? You need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to be safe, and shelter, water, clothing, right? And so on. That's a realm of survival. In fourth dimension, when you understand, you realize, my mind is my own. You reclaim your mind. Yes, so in the fourth dimension, you occur, you exist as a mind, as an intellect, intelligence. In higher dimensions, you exist as love. You are love. You realize, hey, you know what? Love is what I am. I do not have to beg for love, seek it outside, seek it in this world. I am actually the power that can offer the world, that can beam it, that can broadcast it out of my heart. And when you do this, you know what happens? You expand. When you open your heart and you drop from here to here, and you just relax into love, and you decide to broadcast love no matter what happens is that your being, your aura, your life, your sense of life expands so much that you become bigger than the matrix. You become bigger than everything you see, everything you hear, and at that moment the matrix collapses because you are bigger than the matrix. You have swallowed it up with love, with your own being. It's very hard to describe this because it sounds like it sounds very unfamiliar, right? Yet in that moment when you remember that you are a divine being, you remember you are the light coursing through this body, coursing through the nervous system, neurons in this avatar, you realize my body is my technology. I am not my body. I am not a body in a world. I am an infinite being, and this body and this world is inside me. So at this moment you realize, I overstand with my authority. I am overstanding the other dimensions. I overstand any authority, and absolutely all forces of the world work for me. They serve me, they guide me. Sometimes even if evil happens, it occurs like, like nasty and so on. When you realize that it is actually very priceless training for you to remember who you truly are. So when you are in the 5th dimension and higher, because the door is open, there is no more prison, no more limits. You can ascend higher and higher. You can elevate your consciousness and expand. You realize I am the Christ of this realm. You realize Earth is neither flat nor round. It is a magical realm that unfolds as I walk through it, like the path unfolds as I walk along this. So I hope you find this valuable, and I trust that this will inspire you to venture higher and higher and expand your consciousness, and remind yourself that you are the highest authority there is. No one is judging you. There is no committee with notepads grading how you perform on the path of ascension, on your awakening. There is absolutely no God that would say, hey, you are not good enough. That was a lie. And you are always welcome to return to the source and remember who you truly are. You were never, ever casted out, rejected. You never had any original sin. So trust that you are welcome in heaven, because we, high frequency angels, we are now causing a divine intervention to pick you up. So you will create heaven on earth with us. With much love.